gentlemen?
No, there's
Also
less
no.
George Clooney when I go up and chat to them about it. They're like, oh, have you got any Tarantino movies lined up? And they're like, I'm a fox. But they don't say that, but they are. They're just a fox.
Until I lived in London, I'd never actually seen a fox in real life.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd never seen a squirrel in real life until I went to London.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
No, I've
as
seen
well.
those squirrels, not foxes.
Yeah, although you're not supposed to say it like that, right? It's a squirrel.
I don't know, man.
Isn't that how you're supposed to say it?
I don't.
I was told off.
I don't think we're the people to have this conversation.
Yeah, that's a really good point. All right,
You know what I
Orn and
wanna
Gwen.
You know what animal I want to see?
What do you want to see?
A raccoon. I've never seen a raccoon.
You've never seen a raccoon
No,
before?
and I've been told they're adorable.
Yeah, and they also get into your trash and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's super cute.
Yeah.
It's funny because when I heard about the raccoons getting into your trash and stuff like that, I was reminded of goannas, which are really big lizards.
Oh.
And there's a certain place you can go camping in Australia where they will get into your trash.
I thought you were going to talk about bin chickens again.
Well, bin chickens is another one, but that's a little bit too obvious. A bit nuanced is the semi-domesticated goannas.
Ah, yes.
It's like having you have to make sure that all of your trash is kept accounted for, otherwise there's a dinosaur that might start eating it in the middle of the night.
I'm glad we could have a nuanced conversation, Dplus.
Well, that's what we're about here. We're about sharing anecdotes from our lives,
especially
and experiencing some League of Legends of the Rise variety. That's what we want. Okay, the Orianna going to be taken away here, and to round out these bans, we've got Yunara, Rumble, and the Wukong taken off the board. What's standing out to you as far as what has gotten through? Because I'm looking at the Gwen, the Pantheon. That's going to be the one.
Yeah. I was going to say Pantheon because it did feel like a bit of a no-brainer. So then it's going to be what? Jarvan, the Congo Orianna.
Annie
Rakan. We're just tier listing. I'm saying Annie J4.
Ooh, Annie J4 really does feel like it.
But then you do run into Galio Pantheon, which I don't think is fun.
Ooh, that's a good point.
So maybe you let them pick Annie and then you go Cassidy.
Oh my god, it's genius.
Yeah, but we'll save that for game 4. As there is the Jarvan, to the surprise of no one. Jarvan is one of the junglers that can match the early prowess of a Pantheon.
This is actually the only jungle matchup that we've seen be able to stand up to the Pantheon. It doesn't even necessarily work very often.
Yeah, I feel like Trundle's okay. My sole beef with Trundle's when he starts getting blinded B1 and I'm just losing my mind.
Yeah, no, let's just not go back to that. That can't hurt you anymore.
So,
that was yesterday.
Are we going to just slam Kaisa Galio?
I mean, I wouldn't mind it.
Oh.
Kaisa Nico, okay.
So we are getting Diablo, a matchup he's going to be happy in. Or rather, I don't know about matchup, but a champion he's going to be happy on. We now also put DK in a bit of an awkward position because normally teams will pick topside and then handshake bans and then go for second round 80 carries and supports. That's not going to be the case here, so DK now have two options. Are they going to just follow, or are they going to pick at least an 80 carry? Because you got to imagine a lot of the lane dominant 80 carries are going to get banned. Same for maybe some of the supports. DK say topside is the only real part of the map, so we are just going to slam Renekton and call it a day.
Yeah, and I think that there are still a lot of 80 carries left up that Aiming could play. If you want to get some lane dominance, things like Caitlyn are still there. We saw the Misfortune actually find a fair bit of success, especially into the Kai'Sa.
We ban like Gragas here? I think a Gragas ban actually makes sense.
Or a Jax ban.
Yeah. But I think with Jax,
Galio first. Just ban Galio first. Okay, never mind. Sion.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the Sion, man. I feel like Renekton into that matchup. Like, obviously,
Renekton's picked into Sion. Like, he was picked into Sion and won yesterday.
Yeah. As well, it's going to be like Varus and maybe a support. Maybe like a Karma ban here for Barrel.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind the Karma ban.
I would like a Galio ban, personally.
I think Galio needs to be banned. I think it would be very silly if they did not ban it.
I just think playing into double globals is so unfun.
Yeah.
And also, if you're trying to play really any 80 carry, trying to play into the amount of backline dive that will be there, it won't be fun. It's going to be the Ryze instead, which, to be fair, Ryze does fulfill kind of the same criteria, but I do think that he is less of a pushover in the early lane, as the Lucian ban should come as no surprise. Are we just going to slam, like... The problem is, I would go like, are you just going to slam Kalista, which would thematically make sense? But you can't really go Renata into Nico. Let's not forget that Nico came up in the first place as a Renata counter.
I just kind of want aiming to pick Caitlyn and then run to lanes and blow them up. Something like that.
Anything that can, so you can either like try to handshake the matchup and go for scaling and pick Xayah, which
that's what they're gonna do.
Would make sense given Aiming's track record. This used to be one of his best.
It's also the classic matchup of Xayah into Kai'Sa, right?
It is, yeah.
Dates back 8 years.
And then I guess you just go Xayah Rakan, call it a day. It's not bad.
Yep, I imagine that's probably what
lane
Dplus
matchup is not fun. So that one you gotta try and navigate as best as you can.
All right, clears Aatrox to come into the Renekton. Some fireworks perhaps towards that top side of the map. Fair bit of damage potential as Vikla is grinning. That is a little bit worrisome, but he's just going to lock in Galio. And there's not really going to be too much to it.
What should be like Cassio or something?
Morgana. Aha! I forgot. Yeah, no, it was going to be Morgana. That was the choice.
That's actually so crazy. So, because in theory, it makes sense, right? You're able to shove the NE in consistently with your, is it still Tormented Soil?
No, it's not. It's the other thing.
Yeah, but
I like
you know what I mean.
Tormented Soil.
It's going to be the W. And then, unless it's like a really weird like flex and Nico goes mid, I don't think that's going to be the case. But more importantly, it is so annoying to try and play Annie into someone that can negate your CC consistently.
Yep.
Right? And then I think the setup of Morgana and Pantheon is also really cool. My biggest issue with this is that I feel like Morgana has not actually been a champion for a really long time. And I hesitate to think that her power level will really allow this to pop off. But at the same time, this is what you want to do in a best of 5, right? You want to try and get these big swings to see if they work here. And, you know, in Fury I Concede, you find a route onto someone, they die, because there is so much single target CC here, and the Morgana does give you a lot of safety into the amount of CC that's going to come through on the enemy team.
Yep, if they decide to dive you with these very low-range champions coming out of the top side of the map, the Soul Shackles are going to get so much work done. Plus, I could imagine the double burn build would actually do a fair bit of damage in a team fight if you do have people standing on the Tormented Soil. That we will call Tormented Soil for the remainder of the broadcast, even though it is no longer called that. Wow, that is a lot of Dplus tickets.
There's the ant.
Oh,
in front.
There it is. Ah, it's a very happy ant.
It's a positive ant.
I really like that, and it does say positive there.
Isn't it cute?
Aw. I thought that it was going to be a scary ant because I was watching the foxes get ran over.
No, he's happy.
That's a much better fan sign to look at. All right, I'm feeling so much better moving into this next game. This could be the equalizer. And that would be very, very fun. Make this into a best of 3. Let's get onto the Rift here for the second game. The ant apparently just said, I'm scared. So it's not a happy ant.
But then why did... I guess that was his stress response.
Yeah.
You know, it's a tense situation and you just start giggling.
Ah, makes sense, makes sense.
Are you a stress giggler?
Me? No, not really.
No?
I'm a stress joker, though.
You are. Yeah,
if I'm ever stressed, I will just try to make jokes. And
which is so hard to...
Yeah.
You know?
If I'm ever in an argument, it also generally makes things way worse.
Because you'll be stressed and you'll be trying to joke your way out of it.
Yeah, and obviously making jokes when you're trying to have a serious argument is generally going to make the other party pretty upset. It's not exactly a good move for me.
Oh, I know. Maybe it's like I'm in danger, like the chuckle I'm in danger meme. And
yeah, I guess.
Oh, that makes sense.
And so he's like saying I'm scared, but he has a big grin on his face. Very, very cute.
But it's like, you know, it's a little offset. It's just going to be Lulu, by the way. We haven't really talked about this yet.
Yeah, it was a bit of an interesting one. I do like Lulu Jarvan. I feel like the combo can work very well.
It's just Lulu's ins out with you know, extra steps.
Yeah, and not that many extra steps, as it turns out.
No, well, instead of a circle that knocks them all away, it's actually better because you have a circle that brings them all in.
Yeah, and instead of WE to go in, you press EQ to go in.
Yeah.
And you press R to go in more.
So I'm really curious to see what this Morgana is going to bring. So my theory is that once you get a couple of levels into your W, you're going to be able to shove the Annie in consistently. Black Shield obviously does well, and Annie is one of those champions that has to be in short range for it to do anything. And Morgana then has both easy access to getting big chains off, or just, you know, root her, and then she becomes a sitting duck.
Yeah. The one thing, like, Comet feels kind of awkward into the Annie as well, because if you do just puddle her, we just saw it then, that you never actually hit it, because the Molten Shield comes through to block the puddle damage anyway.
Yeah, and then also Annie just gets to run away, right?
Yeah. Kind of amusing. However, if the Dark Binding ever does land, then things can be a little dicey.
Yeah, really my main issue is just oh my god.
Wow, it was Fly! The Morgana into Twisted Fate tech. And of course, in the past, it was always Morgana picked into TF or LeBlanc. That was famously when Pawn did it on EDG in our very first MSI back in 2015, as Vikla gets a -1 in the chat. That was what happened in that Game 5 in the MSI final to get EDG the very first title, was the tricky Morgana mid lane pick into Faker's undefeated at the time LeBlanc. Man, what an incredible tournament that was.
I'm glad you're keeping the ancient texts alive, Atlas. It's important.
I mean,
it has to be done.
It was probably one of the coolest draft moves in a Game 5 I have ever seen.
It's also, I feel like those moments in early League meant so much more because it was the first time that like it's the same with what's the other one that always gets the Rocks Tigers, the MF support, you know. And I guess now we have Vikla picking Morgana. Was it also Vikla that locked in the Zyra?
He did do that on KT by accident, and then they won the game. It was very, very funny.
Yeah, that's
that
my
too?
favorite piece of lore. It did against DRX.
No, but like who on his team then was, who was playing support for KT at that time? I want to say it was like Life or something?
It wasn't Zeus, right?
I can't remember who was
I
quite
don't
there.
know.
But anyway, they had a very good performance on the Zyra, despite probably putting next to 0 games on it at that point in time. As Raptor is just going to annoy Lucid here. Lucid will just wander over to the other side of the map, though, as it will be a very good start here for Raptor. Stealing away Raptors.
Oh, that would have been a really big cancel, but she will be making his way back, meaning he can catch this wave. And yeah, neither Renekton nor Aatrox, I think, is going to be too bothered by being in this 1v2.
Oh, that is a Flash Dark Binding miss from Vikla. Yes, I think that response there, Chronicler, was that basically said
that sums it up.
Yeah.
Because I do think that in the Morgana Pantheon setup,
got it.
There is someone that should go first, and I don't think it should be the Morgana.
I think you probably don't even need to flash if the Pantheon just presses W.
You don't, no.
But sometimes you want to make use of your cooldowns, and you're not getting any value if it's not ticking down, Chronicler.
There's no Hex Flash.
Think about flashes per game, okay? Flashes per game is a stat that we need to start tracking, okay?
I don't think we do. Actually.
I think the best players in the world flash more.
I think it's probably actually the opposite.
No.
Yeah.
That doesn't help my argument at all.
Yeah, well, I don't care.
And as my father always said, don't let the truth get in the way of a good argument.
An argument during which you would make jokes.
Yeah, and the line was never argument, it was always story. But that doesn't help.
I was about to say, I feel like I've heard you say that quote, and it didn't go like that. I've heard these lines before, Atlas.
Yep.
As I'm a little under-stimulated in this game. I was expecting more. This isn't my Rise group.
What can we do?
Where is the first blood?
To stimulate you further, Chronicler, in this game?
I want more kills.
All right. Vikla, we're going to need another flash. Oh, wait, hang on. He can't do that yet. Maybe it's Showmaker's turn? Vikla showed him the way.
Okay, maybe in this rotation.
Well, this could be the angle.
No,
Skellen and Raptor grouped up.
Oh,
Oh, it is
for
time.
chance.
Aiming is just going to face check.
they
Does
know.
get the ward down. Throws in a bunch of feathers, and Aiming is just walking forward. Trying to find an angle onto this one.
No.
Skellen just takes a bit of damage, and that is it.
All right, there are 2 control wards in Lucid's jungle. Will he find any of them?
Oh, also, Showmaker discovered the problems with laning into Morgana, and that is this happens if you spend any time out of lane.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's not great.
He's going to find the other one. I don't think he's going to find the one in like the little brush above his red.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
Adam.
above his red, but...
His name's Adam.
Oh.
That ward.
And then the other one is Eve, just for...
No.
Just Adam.
The other one doesn't have a name. Adam's going to be around for...
Well, I mean, I guess the other one is as well. So...
All right, well, you can. That can be Eve. We can have Adam and Eve.
No, we can do Freddy.
We could do Freddy.
What about Walter? Walter the Ward.
Walter the Ward is lovely. As here's a Cataclysm. Raptor does get a black shield, but he's still doing battle in the melee with this bear. As now Vikla... Oh, no, the snapback of Tibbers blocks the Dark Binding. That was pretty cool. Kind of like that angle there from Showmaker, as now Vikla is trying to fight off this bear. And doing okay. Tibbers doesn't exactly hurt that much at this point in time. And we are, like... DK has a decent lead in this game as Diablo is ghosting after Aiming. Does do a lot of damage with that Void Seeker. But DK will be able to take these grubs away by the looks of things.
That was low.
Alan looking for an angle. Vikla running out of mana as Beryl is just going to flash. Grant Starfall not going to quite find the angle here as Tibbers is still going. The most hard-working bear on the Rift right now as Showmaker moves on in. Tibbers is going to fall down. And it looks like it will be double grubs collected here by BNK. So there it is. First objective did go over to DK in the form of the dragon, but that is going to be BNK's first one there in the double grubs. And things continue to be excruciatingly close in this game.
I don't trust it. I'm not trusting it one bit, Atlas. This
It's
doesn't
pretty
make sense.
cool that Walter and Adam are both still up, though.
They are vibing, yeah.
Just hanging out, having a good time, being wards. Oh no! Walter just got replaced! What? He was just minding his own business!
What?
Why would you do that for? Wait,
Walter, no,
unless
wait.
Walter just teleported.
Okay.
Does that mean that Walter is
Atlas,
now on the red buff?
So this is an age-old question. Is the new ward that's currently in you know,
Yeah.
is that Walter now?
Do you believe in ward reincarnation?
Well, I mean, it's a classic ship of Theseus, right? Is that the same ward or no? I would say no.
I mean, no, it's not.
A different ward has been bought.
Yeah,
and
Raptor
has
did
been
purchase
placed.
from Boris another ward and then placed it. But is the ward that you buy actually just a teleporter for the ward that has been allocated to you for this game?
What if it's a physical representation that the spirit of the previous ward then gets teleported into?
Exactly.
Could
have you had it, like, how many? We need to actually have a chat to these wards to work out which one's which.
Well, that will be hard.
Important. Do you think?
I think
do you
they've
think
been known
Freak
not
would
to
know?
chat a lot. Oh, he would for sure, but I don't know if he would tell you.
He may not. He'd probably just want to keep that one a mystery.
Is Shio in trouble? He is Renekton.
He does look like he might have a bit of an issue here as Slice Dice, all that sort of stuff comes out, but this still could be a worrying time. Gets onto the turret though, and he's going to be okay, but had to use basically everything in his disposal to make this one happen. Let's see how Clear's going to do as the Umbral dash, just beautiful, getting him out of the way of the snare as Aiming.
You got a grass prop.
Yeah, does need to be a little bit careful here as Lucid at full health. There's the wild growth as well to keep him healthy. So much damage absorbed by this Jarvan, and that is going to be first blood pretty late here, going over to Aiming as Vikla uses the black shield, but Showmaker didn't actually hit him with anything. That is +1 for Showmaker, but doesn't necessarily have the same amount of farm as DK. They're just going to push this bottom lane, but there is a little bit more defense for the top lane turret. Still, it is going to likely go down first.
That's actually crazy. Aiming had to walk out again. I don't know if that would have made the difference, but he got turret aggro. So I had to walk out. I think it still would have gone to top, but it was really close, so could have actually been the difference maker. He's fine. He has all his
He's going to be fine.
it's also really interesting. I actually want to check again Because I'm not sure if on the dive onto clear, Lucid missed his first flag and drag, or if he missed it on purpose, knowing that they were going to go for the redive and just wait out the ultimate. Which I guess we'll see in the replay. I feel like he just missed it, but maybe it was a call because I feel like the rest of the team was kind of ready for that. As, you know, Showmaker's been locked in lane.
He certainly has. I mean, that's what you picked Morgana for. That being said, if you watched game 1, Showmaker was still locked in lane in that game, and there was no, you know, big reason
there was no downside
for it. Yeah, so he probably would have done that anyway. That is player tendency, and not necessarily the result. Also could have got the feedback that perhaps he should involve himself in more than just one of the kills for the first 25 minutes of the game. Could have also been a strategy. But this time around, he is just hanging out here in this lane, doing what he can.
So we do deny the double dragon here for DK, like was the case in last game. That got them off to a very early start as a Showmaker.
Well, he is going to discover some information.
Flash for red buff, maybe a kill?
Ooh, flash for flash in the end.
It's not too bad, although I do think that Showmaker's flash, because he's laning into Vikla, is a little more important.
I would agree.
Jungler flash doesn't matter quite as much. My main issue is going to be for BNK, how do they play around Lulu? Because I feel like Lulu ruins so much of what the game plan for BNK is, which is find a single target and murder them. And then kind of go from there, right? You have resets for your Aatrox, obviously is nice. You have Kai'Sa that can kind of weave in and out the fight and pop off. But it really does feel like they need to find a target on DK and kill them, which into the redemption heal. Okay, Lucid. Oh, the flash!
Gonna get flashed on, and the flash is not going to quite work out here. That Dark Binding's going to hit, and down goes the job. And the Grand Starfall, I think, may have been unnecessary, but I loved the vibes here from BNK. They knew they wanted to kill that Jarvan, and they hit him with the kitchen sink.
Bit superfluous on the ultimate, but you're not going to be complaining if you are BNK.
It's still super, you know, it's still, even if it's superfluous, still got super in it. Still a super play.
How do you feel about that one, Dplus?
Not great. You could tell that I'd lost interest in it halfway through. It's all right, Redemption, just going to make sure that it's keeping Showmaker healthy, but the Dark Binding onto Tibbers is going to be problematic as he disappears.
Tibbers has been outplaying these bindings.
Yeah,
he gets hit when he wants to. As we take another look.
W 맞췄다. Q 맞췄다. 나 이거 봐볼게.
It's the binding. And then keeps the tether alive. Nicely done. Otherwise, Lucid might just make it out.
Very, very nicely played there from Vikla. That is going to get 1 kill on the board here for BNK. And going to slow down DK's onslaught. Still about 300 gold ahead.
I actually, the more I think about it, I actually feel like both comps, it's kind of annoying because you're going to try and go in and blow a target up. But then for BNK, I think a lot of the targets are actually quite beefy and hard to take down. Especially, I assume Vikla is going to go for an early stopwatch. There's an Aatrox,
there's 2 Sundered Skies.
Yes, well, 2 Sundered Skies, and then also both Pantheon and Aatrox are deceptively tanky. One for Drain tanking, the other for his E. And again, Sundered Sky is busted. So you can't really go in and try and pick up a target, and then neither can DK. So maybe just whoever is first is having a good time.
Well, right now, that is BNK. As this Rift Herald going down very, very quickly. Teleport in, try and get clear in here as there is the Cataclysm. Pop Blossom picks up the Jarvan, though Beryl also collects it. Wild Growth not enough to keep him alive as Xiu. He wants to try and fight this one out, but it does not work. Down goes the Lulu. And Xiu just kind of wandered through BNK and wasn't actually able to affect it at all.
And to the surprise of absolutely no one, BNK pulling ahead in this game number 2.
It was written, am I right?
Know. Yeah, we kind of did see that one coming as Lucid gets taken down again here. And that level of disjointedness that we were used to seeing from DK was absent in game 1. Nowhere to be found, or rather, has re-emerged here. Nowhere to be found is BNK playing from a deficit. BNK from ahead is a very strong team as Lucid tries to get the steal and tries to go in with a flag and drag, but unfortunately gets ulted on. Really good timing there from the player as well. And Showmaker's like, I want to join the fight, but
yeah, he just wasn't quite there in time. He gets blocked out by the Pantheon.
Yes, he doesn't get to, so Showmaker isn't there. And he's a big part of what makes his composition work. As the Clans gets forced and aiming also had to flash. So things are not getting better for DK.
Not looking positive. However, he is still alive. So I guess there is that. That is going to be feats of strength also going over to BNK at the same time. Being able to pick up that last objective after they took down the top outer turret a little bit faster. We're going to have a look at the little replay here, picture in picture. As you can see there, just aiming at forced flash. And then the Tangle Barbs land, and so that means he has to cleanse. Yeah, pretty high value cleanse game, by the way, for Amy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we have an attempt to play onto Clearer. There's no turret.
Yep, Showmaker's going to be booking it down towards him, going to be able to land the stun. And I don't know whether Clear is going to be able to get out, but there is a lot of BNK members making their way down. Cataclysm comes on through as Lucid's health bar goes down so low. Pop Blossom almost kills Shiu as he opted into it, as the Black Shield on this Aatrox is so incredibly hard to deal with here for DK, and Clear is still at 50% health. Oh, it's absolutely ridiculous. There is Shiu throwing down the ulti to try and stay alive, but he goes down like a hot knife through butter. And now the killer instinct from Diablo is going to come on through. Featherstorm is not going to be enough, and that is a clean ace for BNK FEARX over Dplus here. They will be able to get themselves a dragon, and we'll see what else they can get off the back end of that.
And there is the other face of Dplus as we take a look here. As highlighted, Clear taking him down reliably is actually a big deal. And I don't know if they ever kill him in time. Like, because Lucid doesn't end up hitting the flag and drag. Like, I don't think that would have made a difference. They just don't have the damage. They need more. And then we see the rest of the reinforcements arrive. Even though Kellen's ultimate doesn't hit the mark, it doesn't matter. This is the peak fight for BNK, right? Every cooldown is used on the Clear, who gets kept alive by the rest of his team. And then you can just go one by one with the amount of point and click CC that they have. And BNK looking to take us, as we I think all knew, to at least a 1-1 here in true Rise group fashion. And you know what? I know it's not the main character, but the Morgana counter pick,
I mean, it's been working.
It's doing its job.
And you don't need to land Dark Bindings in lane. All you need to do is puddle the wave. That is your job. And if then, in the team fights, you can actually lock down a couple of targets, that is all that you are required to do. So far, the answers here for BNK have just been fantastic. She is still trying to fight here in this lane, but he only has Asterix. It's just not feeling too great.
Yeah, and it's kind of something that we have seen DK struggle with before.
It's a Spear of Soldier, by the way. It's not Asterix.
Oh, no.
Yeah, bit of a shame. I've never gotten item names wrong before. Ask Hawks.
That's okay. When Lucid starts falling behind, but he's the main initiator, I think we see this a lot. And, you know, Beryl was the... There's always a sacrificial lamb on DK. Last game it was Beryl.
Yeah, it may be Beryl once again, but instead, DK are just going to get themselves out of there, understanding that BNK's collapse is pretty frightening.
But in this game, it's clearly Lucid, and
okay, doesn't hit the puddle, but nailed the binding.
That's what matters, you know. Showmaker is again not really finding an impact, and this game is truly feeling like can aiming 1v9 on Xayah, or BNK make a big mistake. That's another option.
We'll just have to see. This could be the Otacon play. As Slice and Dice here from Shiu to try and get himself towards his inner turret. He might be able to get there, but we'll see whether he can keep himself alive as Diablo finds the supercharger to lock down the kill. And Otacon going to be given up on here by DK. Aiming, sidestepping the binding here, but now 4 versus 5. You're not going to have a good time.
Wait, Diablo still has ult.
He does. And
oh, boy!
Towards the top side. Dark Binding not going to quite find the mark there as bit of an interruption. Raptor going to take a fair bit of damage here. Redemption does a fair bit of work. There's the Featherstorm, but now he's in melee range of an Aatrox. Still aiming, is trying to get the damage down. Does get one. I just don't know whether it's going to be enough as Beryl is off to the side. Showmaker wants to kill Kellen, but he can't do it. And Clear is just too strong in this front line. Out goes Lucid. Wait. That should be the Otacon.
They're low, though. Maybe Shiu can make his way back.
Oh, they also have a control ward in this brush.
Yeah, I don't know about this BNK. They're going to be squishy as hell.
And Beryl is still here as well. Of course, he's stuck around. Vikler and no one has smite as Beryl comes over. Lucid being chased down by Clear. There's the knock-up as it is going to be the Otacon secured by Shiu. And of course it is. They are likely to, well, I mean, Shiu has 1 billion health, so they're not going to be able to kill them on the outset.
No, Shiu, it's bait, it's bait!
I don't think we should be doing that one. He decides he wants to try and kill Diablo, but he just gets CC'd to death. and down he will go. That's a teleport in from Showmaker as well, as if at first you don't succeed. Try again. Aiming is just going to flash in and kill Vikla. All right, okay, it feels like DK, they now got the terms. Okay. That's Rise Group, baby!
Yeah, well, I have no idea. So I think BNK still won that.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, did they?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm
Let's count the win.
I'm sure the space is going to have a field day with this one, Atlas.
I got very confused because like Raptor just kind of altered in place.
So Kellen's
move.
getting zoned by Showmaker. Clear doesn't actually get on top of aiming until it's late. Then aiming does get blown up, but they use so much, and Showmaker is actually still threatening for a little bit there, which means they need to spend time on him. And then, oh, I guess we're still going.
We got some action that we have to get back into. No time for replays. Not here.
Once aiming gets IE, I think the game becomes a little bit more playable for DK. They can't really get this dragon though, so they have to contest, which they don't want to, but they do have to. As Clear is waiting there. And,
what is happening? That was such
Wait, Showmaker is...
He's flanking the flank of the flank!
Wait, but you can't collapse onto Aatrox. It doesn't work.
Well, also, Shiu cannot defend it in a turret, as Clear is going to take a damage.
Okay, Kellen's there, but he is on vision. Aiming does have his ultimate, as does Barrel.
Crocodile doesn't have teleport, so he's not going to be here for this fight. As Clear is struggling to get past Showmaker, at least Showmaker can stand his ground here.
It's the anti-poke! It's the forbidden poke combat, Atlas!
Oh, it's working. The melee range poke.
Okay,
it's,
so
it's
Clear,
just beautiful.
Clear is zoned, guys. He's out.
Well, the dragon has been started. Lucid in position here to try and go for a 50-50.
Doesn't have flash.
Yep, stun is going to come on through as over the wall goes Clear. Yeah, he is very, well, not dead, but he cannot stop this Hextech Dragon from going down. That is going to be Soul Point over to BNK. A whole lot of extra power as Shiu is slicing, dicing, acting all cool, and he is dead. Don't really get to quite much more fresh prints there as the aiming does have to use the ulti. Kellen's flashing away. Showmaker likely to die here. Does get the bear down as Lucid looking for an angle here onto Vikla. He tried to shackle them, and honestly, they didn't even really need to be shackled because they can get ran down by this BNK roster. That is another clean ace here for BNK FEARX and a quadra kill for Diablo.
I thought they were gonna just run it down mid and end, but we're only 24 minutes in.
Oh, and it's Rise Group. We do not do that.
We don't do that, I guess. As Lucid gets taken down immediately, doesn't really get to do anything. Showmaker is, I don't know, not anywhere near his team because he's still trying to flank. Shield gets hit by a binding and dies.
I mean, it's interesting to say that he's nowhere near his team because where is his team technically? Like what constitutes his team?
I guess he could be his team as well.
Yeah, because no one was really near anyone.
No,
to be honest.
No, they weren't. And then obviously BNK just play it slow. And again, it's this one by one pickoff that just works so well into a DK that's behind. Doesn't really have the cleanest setup. I guess Lucid has to smite steal this, but he gets bind.
Walks into a binding.
And I love as well that Viklas understood the assignment. He's not playing.
There's two supports in this game.
No, that's what the Rylise is there.
Yeah.
There's the Magi.
Oh, the Magi. You love to see it. All right. Vikla ready to write some names in that death note.
It also does make me wonder how Nico made it through again.
Well, this is the thing. I think that they were expecting a lot of these picks to come through in the next round, so they had a second rotation of bans, but really great decision-making here from BNK to lock down this Kai'Sa lane on top of the Pantheon. You get a Pantheon in there, and already you kind of want to play dive, so I don't think you ever wanted to pivot away from a Kai'Sa style composition. I think it was really smartly done. Credit to Ryu for that one.
So barring a massive overextension into like a 5-man feather pool by aiming, this one should be in the bag. And you know what that means, Atlas? That means more Rise gameplay.
Oh, absolutely. And I think we said it earlier on, and that is that we're guaranteed 4 games at least in this series. Now I'm getting greedy. Now I want 5. Because remember, like, as we go on, we are just not going to have Rise Group gameplay.
No, we're not. And the play-ins is the final time. And I know
Yeah.
that Nongshim is in there, but come on, guys. We saw yesterday. They know.
Oh, they are ready. And
They
we can
know
trust
how
them.
to-
We can trust them to have some Rise gameplay. There's also, like, I mean, KT's coming up, so they will be able to get some of that that Rise group flavor in there. I'm sure of it.
I don't want to get to, you know, the playoffs where, oh, look, Gen G freeze, oh, T1's free zeroing
Oh,
people.
beautiful macro and decision making.
Oh, that's, no. I want 5-game Madman level gameplay.
I want
Why
this.
you there?
From Chiu, exactly.
I don't know.
It's an enigma, and trying to work it out is part of the fun.
It says something about League of Legends. It's art, Dplus.
Exactly. If the Wordle was just a word there and you were like, cool, it's finished.
That's boring.
That wouldn't be interesting. You got to try and figure it out. It's all right. Cataclysm comes down immediately. The Jarvan tries to get out, but it does not work. My God, the weight of the wallets just slamming down onto DK. That binding, Vikla. Oh, man, he really got his eye in towards the end of this one, as this mid inhibitor turret is going to be their way towards the Nexus. And BNK, I think they are going to say goodnight to this one now. 13.5k gold, the advantage. And they will be sending us to a third game. Everything tied up 1-1. Blue side, 100% win rate. We'll see whether we can get to a game 5 with that remaining true. That would be exciting, as BNK strike back in a big way.